aliens I think you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast, and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts, and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring, and George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
We're going to start out this video by me taking a bite out of my bagel. I already ate the first half, and here comes a bite out of the second half of this bagel. And it goes a little something like this. That is really good stuff. And so there you have it. Now the next thing I want to point out, and a lot of you people out there that voted Democrat, I would say probably 100% of you people watching this that voted Democrat would be pleased to know that I got very sick Friday morning and almost died. Almost died. But it might also disappoint you greatly, every last one of you that despise me, that I didn't die. Proof in the pudding right here. I'm still alive on your YouTube right now. As you could hear, I still got a bit of a cough. And rumor has it that I may look like shit right now. Rumor has it. And I would not be one to try to debunk those claims, being I felt like shit all this weekend. And I'm just now starting to recover. That bagel that I took a bite of, yeah, that's like my first thing of solid food in days. And, you know, I get to drink all kinds of liquids. I normally have a coffee with this, but my loving, adoring 13 cats decided to unanimously attack my coffee cup and knock my coffee cup over. So there I am having a Pepsi for breakfast. Now that I explained all that, of course, I look around. I could say, woe is me, why me, this and that, why is this happening? But then I look at the calendar, and it makes perfect sense. Joe Biden is still president. So even this I could blame on the Democrats. This is the very last day of Joe Biden's presidency. And so, of course, for those of us who justifiably despise Joe Biden, it makes perfect sense that our lives will be all fucked up in the last days before Trump gets sworn in as president. Because that's been the MO of Joe Biden ever since the Democrats lost the election to Donald Trump. Ever since the establishment, the ruling elite, the people of the ivory tower that look at the common man as a peasant, lost to our dog in the fight, Donald Trump. Our horse in the race, Donald Trump. And so, once that happened, he started pardoning dangerous criminal elements. People who are definitely not guaranteed to never commit the crimes that they got in trouble for in the first place. It's not guaranteed that they will not commit these crimes again. And some of these crimes are dangerous crimes, existential threat to public safety. Let's not forget, Trump had just won the presidency like a few days earlier before he did this. He sent more money and more weapons to Ukraine and encouraged Ukraine to use these weapons to fire deep into Russian territory, provoking Russia to attack Ukraine even further. And the only reason why they didn't is because they recognize Donald Trump as the leader now, which in just about a day, just about a day, that will ring true. And so, yes, we are in the last moments of a Joe Biden presidency. So, needless to say, if we could bear through this one day, this one last day, my friends, it's going to suck. It's going to be back-wrenching. It's going to be mind-boggling. It's going to be strenuous, stressful. It may make us discover that we have PTSD that we never even knew we had. But keep in mind, we survived this far. We fought the good fight. We fought the gallant fight. We could survive this one last day before America genuinely becomes great again. In an instant. In an instant. I know as of 12 o'clock noon tomorrow, when the greatest president of the 21st century places his hand on that holy book and raises his other hand to commit to the oath of office of President of the United States, my life, personally, my life, the life of John Krantz, a.k.a. MC Too Tall, a.k.a. your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host of this program you're watching, will be much better. It'll be much improved. My life will improve the minute Donald Trump puts his hand on that holy book. Once he puts his hand on the gospel and the printed word of God to commit to the oath of office, my life will be better. My life will be better. And I really hate when people tease me with good news when it's false news. That, like, a lot of people tell me about all these different people, all these different types of people who will suffer, and Donald Trump is directly responsible for that suffrage. First of all, none of that's true. And second of all, you say these particular people, you specifically point out these types of people, these groups of people, these demographics of people that will suffer because of Donald Trump, like it's a bad thing that these groups of people suffer. It's like, don't threaten me with a good time. You know, it's like, as much as I would like for the people you're hoping don't suffer, but insist will suffer, to suffer, they're not going to suffer. You know? So, yeah, so not only is it not true, I actually wish it were true. That the particular demographics you don't want suffering under Donald Trump are going to suffer under Donald Trump. Truth is that as much as I want them to suffer, they're not going to. I don't know how else to tell you that. I'm for the suffrage of these people because they're not unifiers. They're divisive caricatures that have no place in a free, God-loving Christian society. You know, people that go against God have something inherently evil about them. And let me repeat that, is that you go against God, there's something inherently evil about you. And belief in God should always take precedent over secular humanism. Because if you don't have that core, that there is something bigger than you, that is the end-all be-all, and it's not some schmuck at the local dive bar that does promotions at the local dive bar that doesn't like your face. It's somebody higher than him, too. And he goes by no other name than God. And on occasion, Jehovah. But is mainly referred to by one simple three-letter name, God. And so, with that said, I know there's a lot going on in the country today, and a lot of people like me who support the Second Amendment and have an American flag shirt where the stripes are made up of firearms, who are going through a really bad last day of the Joe Biden presidency. But as the great rock band Kansas would say, carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace where you belong. And don't you cry no more, because I don't know. The thought of Trump becoming president, I'm not one to get emotional and like blast out tears of joy that, that finally a milestone of your accomplishments is finally achieved. You finally see it take in fruition. Like ever win that trophy and it's so emotional. Like yeah, like remember the 94 Stanley Cup playoffs? It went to a grueling 7 games. And that Stanley Cup was finally handed over to Rangers captain Mark Messier. The emotion that came out of Mark Messier. And this is a guy that's won Stanley Cups in the past for another team. He won Stanley Cups multiple times as an Oiler. But this was the one that meant the most to him, and you could tell by how he held that cup and almost jumped out of his skates. He was still in his skates. He almost jumped out of them when he was finally handed that Stanley Cup. And it's like, that's the emotions I feel brewing up inside of me. That's the emotions I feel brewing up inside of me. Notice that I said brewing and not wooing. Okay? I don't have a fucking Elmer Fudd lisp, you cocksuckers. So anyway, that's the kind of emotion I have building up inside of me. That once this is achieved, I'm going to be like, I don't know if I'll be able to contain myself. Like, how happy I will be and how proud of myself I am that I did the single most useful thing I could have ever done with my life. I voted for this particular candidate and he won. And that is the most productive thing I could ever do in my entire life for the rest of my life. Okay, tomorrow is going to be a highlight of my personal life when this man gets sworn in. And I just wanted you guys out there to know that. This is how I feel. This is what we all need to look forward to. I mean, today is probably going to be the worst day of your life. I mean, it's a pretty bad weekend for me. I get this weird bug in me where I'm freaking, I got a fever, bad cough, I'm nauseous. I rushed to the bathroom, and guess what? Montezuma's revenge. Montezuma's revenge. And so there's that. But it all comes together. It makes sense when you realize who is still the president of the United States, at least for the time being. at least until 12 noon tomorrow. So when you realize it's that lame duck POS that enabled and encouraged Ukraine to fire into Russian territory, that pardoned a dangerous, drug-addicted, Chinese communist asset just because the guy happens to have the same last name as himself. And then pardoning active members of the Chinese Communist Party who were spying on America, who also had a wide range of tastes in kiddie porn. When you realize that's the guy who's still president for the time being, it all comes together and you say, well, this is going to be all over soon. This guy's going to be gone. By 12 noon tomorrow, this guy's going to be gone. We're going to have ourselves a president again. We are really going to have ourselves a president again. And like, I don't know if I'll be able to contain myself. But I'm going to be watching it from... I'm going to be watching it from the garage that I work at, where I help run the joint. And I'm telling you, I really don't know if I'm going to be able to contain myself. But it is going to be a moment in my life that I'm going to be proud of myself for collectively what millions of other Americans in achieving. And that's to get the right man that belongs in the White House into that White House. And that all comes together. I don't know. I'm just gonna hold it back, try to hold it back as much as I can. Because I want to just savor the moment until it actually happens, because I already know I'm going to be like, I'm usually not one to bust out and like rampant wild tears of joy, but this is a really special occasion. And yeah, got to be proud of yourself, America. Got to be proud of yourselves as Americans, and let nobody else tell you different. Don't let the freaky fringe group folly fuckers tell you differently. Okay? The majority of us Americans, the majority of we the people, voted for Donald Trump. So you're on the side of general consensus. Okay? You're on the side of general consensus. You are on the right side of history. You are among what the majority of America wants. You want that same thing that the majority of America wants. And that was for Donald J. Trump to be president of the United States of this here America. And yeah, man, we did it. And these hours cannot go by soon enough before Donald Trump is finally president. And may Christ be with Donald Trump throughout the entire 4 years that he serves as president. There's a man who humbly takes a back seat to Jesus Christ. That is a man I want leading my country. That's a man who has shown in multiple ways that he respects God and does God's will. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Stay strong. Keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building. Hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, who's seen better days, but I'm getting better. MC Too Tall. All right. Be good.